So I have this story that I love to tell. It's a great story. At the time, it was crazy, but it's a great story. So I had these kids in my charge again, and basically, if you couldn't tell, I basically went into teaching at 17 years old. I started teaching dance, and then I taught dance basically up until I had kids. I was 23 when I had my first baby, and anyway, so I had a lot of kids in my charge, and kids from all over, and I look over, and there is this black girl. I think at 9 years old. Maybe she wasn't taller than me. She might have been. At 9 years old, she was huge. She was not fat. She was just built. Like, and she might have been just a little shorter than me. At the time, I lost some height having 5 kids, believe it or not. But at the time, I was a little taller than 5'4". And she might have been 5'2", something like that. Anyway, I look over and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm seeing right now. And I am because I'm across the field and I'm looking and I see all these boys. Okay, so she's 9, so they're around the same age. Maybe the group of kids are between 9 and 10. And there's five boys, I think, 5 or 6, and they are surrounding her, and she's flipping the shit out, and I'm like, oh my god, she is kicking, she is punching. They're trying to come up to her, but then she just slaps the shit out of one, and then one tries to come up behind her, and then she turns around, she just punches the shit out of that one. I mean, she is wailing on these boys. I was like, wow, I am so impressed, but I gotta stop that. And I'm across the field, so I start sprinting. I'm like, I gotta get there fast, and I get closer and closer, and she is kicking the ever-loving shit out of these 5 or 6 boys. I was like, wow, she's a good fighter. But I thought, how am I going to get in there? And what I did was instinctual. I just tackled her. I was like, okay, I got to get low. Because she's tall and she's big, she's built. And I had to get low, and I grab her around the waist, and I just barrel into her. and it's in a field, right? So she didn't get hurt. And I pin her on the ground, and her hands are still free, and she goes to punch me, and I'm like, nah, you're not gonna do that. And I just take both her, I'm sitting on her, and I took both her arms, and I pin him down. She's on her back, and she's screaming, let go of me. So she starts kneeing me. This girl's a fighter. She is, obviously, you can see by this time of the story that she is one hell of a fighter. She starts kneeing me in the back. And so I scream at one of the counselors, who sees me sprinting across the field, and she's this white girl. And I gotta say, kudos to her. she did a pretty good job. She was always so grateful when I dealt with these situations where they're fighting. And for me, it was no big deal. They're just kids. We're not dealing with anything dangerous. But anyway, it's too much for these white girls and white adult girls. And I scream. She's like, oh my god, what do I do? And I'm like, pin her legs down. Just pin her down. And she goes, are we allowed to do that? I'm like, shut up. She's kicking me in the back. Freaking pin her down right now. And I'm talking to the girl on the ground. And I'm like, she's like, let go of me. Get the fuck off me. I'm like, honey. You know I'm not going to get the fuck off you until you calm the fuck down. And eventually she did, because she knew I was not getting off her. She was pinned down. I had her arms, and the other counselor had her legs, and I was on top of her. So she calms the fuck down, and I get off her, and the boys are all just watching. They're all just watching. I turn around. One's got a scratch across his face. One's got a shiner. The other ones are like bedraggled, but they want to see the drama, so they stuck around. And I said, you boys, just remember that this one girl just kicked the shit out of all y'all.